Best in the pit starting right now. Tulsa has it. It's Rafael Maldonado. Rod Thompson, their point guard, is back from injury. Came back against UTEP Thursday night, and he's running the show. Tulsa's a motion team. They play a lot like Kansas does. And Shea Seals is the man it all revolves around.
And with the adrenaline flowing like this, it's good strategy by Tulsa to milk the clock, get a lot of touches on the ball, and try and get a good shot.
Thompson blocked by Smith. He gets it back, and he holds it in. Johnny Gendron touches it. It'll stay with the Lobos. And by the way, here in Albuquerque, the crowd stands until both teams score.
Well, you see the tough defense really not giving Tulsa a clean look at the basket. Just an excellent block, and then in transition, New Mexico a little bit eager. The pass was thrown too long for Spider-Man to run down.
There's the point guard, Gibson, out on top. To the wing for Charles Smith. Then the entry for Kenny Thomas. He's got the turnaround. That's his favorite shot. And the tip-in goes down. That was Clayton Shields. Good transition by the Hurricane. Gendron with a great assist for Shea Seals.
And that's right back at you, basketball. New Mexico scoring and then immediately going to a full court 2-2-1 press, and Tulsa not caught at all off guard, attacking the press nicely. 2-on-1, nice finish by Seals.
Smith off with the three. And Rafael Maldonado, the senior out of Texas, he pulls down the rebound, averaging 4 a game. He's up at the high post. That's Johnny Gendron, a good shooter on the left wing. He travels. And the reason that happened, Larry, Clayton Shields stepped in front of Michael Ruffin to close the passing lane.
And you've got to have really good balance anytime you have the basketball. Here's the 2-on-1 fast break. Just an excellent extra pass. Seals with his hands above his waist, ready for the pass, and a nice strong dunk to finish the play.
New Mexico runs what they call a flex motion. 2 guards, couple on the perimeter, and a post man. 2 in the guard position, we should say, because they really do have a 3-guard lineup since Lamont Long has been starting. Shea Seals stripped, and then dancing out of bounds with it was David Gibson. Tulsa will have it with 28 on the shot clock. It's a 2-2 game, a minute 50 in.
You see Seals right here. He's trying to get around on the baseline. Pretty good defense to cut him off, and you see Gibson with the reach in. Didn't get called for a foul. He averages about 1.5 steals per game, this Gibson, with good hands.
Johnny Gendron's a good shooter. The 3 will miss. The rebound, Spider Smith. I've noticed Tulsa's using Maldonado at the high post a lot, Larry, to keep Mr. Kenny Thomas away from the basket. That'll be a blocking foul on Johnny Gendron. One month ago today at the Convention Center in Tulsa, as Larry mentioned, Shea Seals went crazy in the first half. He had 21. New Mexico only had 20 at the half. He would only shoot 4 more times the rest of the night, and the Hurricane hammered them by 23. Kenny Thomas had a bad ankle, was not in that game, and so this one obviously will be a lot tighter today.
New Mexico not shooting well at all without the interior offensive play of Kenny Thomas. They shot only 33% in that first half. You're not going to win on the road shooting that poorly.
Gendron on top for Maldonado.
As long as Maldonado plays out there at the three-point line, look for Kenny Smith just to sag off, invite him to take that long shot, and really try and clog up those passing lanes.
Shea Seals creating his own shot. He got a pick out high from Michael Ruffin, and then he did the rest himself. And if Tulsa is going to hang with this team, Shea Seals has to get off to a good start.
And pick and choose and let the offense come to him. Not force anything, but get himself open by virtue of the offense.
Kenny Thomas for 3. When they beat Utah here a couple of weeks ago, he hit 2 out of 2 out there. He's now 7 of 18 this year.
But Dave Bliss told us yesterday that he wanted to play Kenny Thomas more on the perimeter to give him more touches. He felt that burying Thomas on the inside made it easier for a lot of the defenses to play behind him with a big man and then cover down from the perimeter.
Seals for Maldonado. Ruffin's got it for Tulsa. Took it right away from Clayton Shields. Here's Seals waiting. Ruffin takes a foul, as Tulsa did a pretty good job of keeping their poise right there.
We talked about Seals and his ability to go one-on-one. You see how he sets the defense up with that nice hesitation move. Doesn't really go shoulder to shoulder off the screen, but creates just enough separation between himself and the defense to get a good look at the basket.
Michael Ruffin to the line, a 60% free throw shooter. And the difference right now is the three-point shot by Kenny Thomas. Ruffin already has 83 blocks. Only 10 less than the all-time Tulsa leader, Bruce Hanley, who played for Nolan Richardson back in the 80s. And Dave Bliss's team on top by 1. We're 3.5 minutes in. We're off to the loud, ruckus start we expected. This place is really something.
New Mexico with this small lineup on the floor. Kenny Thomas actually playing the center position.
Jay Seals got there a little bit late. That's his first foul. You know, I asked Steve Robinson last night, did you play any place in the Missouri Valley that was like the noise of Salt Lake City and what you expected Albuquerque? And the only place he could think of was Bradley, when Tulsa would go in there to play the Bradley Braves in Peoria, Illinois. But I think he now admits that this league is on another level when it comes to being intimidated on the road. Shields, and the diagonal goes nowhere. Kenny Thomas pats his heart and says, I should have had that one, teammate. And they're going to go back the other way. Royce Olney will check in for New Mexico. He's their first guy off the bench, their best shooter. Tulsa, by the way, a few moments ago, brought in Eric Coley off the bench, who's one of their good-looking young freshman forwards. Thompson to Coley, number 11.
With the small lineup that New Mexico has on the floor, with Kenny Thomas playing center, they're really vulnerable to the offensive rebound. They've given up 13 offensive rebounds per game on the season.
Adrian Crawford, number 5 for Tulsa. Shea Seals is out of the game right now. Great defense by Lamont Long forces the turnover. We're 4:07 in. They're going crazy in the pit, and the Lobos lead Tulsa by 1. All of their WAC losses, of course, 3 of them have been on the road at Hawaii, at Tulsa, and at TCU. There's Royce Olney with dribble penetration. Off to the left with it. Rebound, Kenny Thomas. He's got Olney again in the corner. And Smith, unusual to see the spider not hang on to one.
Well, Smith had vision of Kenny Thomas being played one-on-one in the low post with the defender behind him, and was actually looking to pass the ball before he had full control, resulting in not concentrating the ball into his hand in a turnover.
Jay Seals is back in at the timeout. 4 early points for the senior. Out of McLean High School in Tulsa, one of their all-time greats. Second leading scorer, only Steve Harris scored more. This is Adrian Crawford, Laura Ruffin.
Coach Bliss told us yesterday it was really important to try and do a nice job defensively on Seals and not let him get off to a quick start, get his confidence up.
That was Zach Bennett who checked in, getting the pass for Seals. And Shea shooting well so far. He has 6. Thomas, tough turnaround. Ruffin, and behind him, Shea Seals picks it up. Seals is not just a scorer. Pretty good pass. Ruffin travel. Greg Schornstein, a former starter, will check in for the Lobos. He'll come back with Lamont Long. You know, Shea Seals has taken a little bit of criticism this year because of his shooting percentage. And there's the travel by Ruffin. He completely lost his pivot foot. But every night, Shea Seals has the other team's best defenders on him. Everybody's keying on him.
And you can see by the example of that pass, he's averaging 3 assists on the season.
Pretty good help there by Zach Bennett. Here's Thomas, spin move, takes the hit. Kenny Thomas has 2 favorite moves. The first one is the right-handed jump hook. The second one is the spin move along the baseline.
And he can go over his right shoulder to the middle or the left shoulder. You see the nice pick. Now, he doesn't really roll hard to the basket, but just sort of gets himself between the defender and the ball so he can make the catch. And then that quick drop step, you know, for a man his size at 260, at least that's what they list Kenny Thomas as weighing 260. He looks maybe a shade over that. He's awfully quick of foot.
Well, he weighed 280 last year. There's Rafael Maldonado, who's back. Ruffin, who committed the foul, will get a breather.
One shot. You got one.
The only time the pit is quiet is at about 6 in the morning or when a Lobo is shooting a free throw. He's got them both. 5 early ones for Kenny. And Dave Bliss is glad to have him involved early after he did not play in that big loss at Tulsa. Lobos by 1. Here goes Seals. He scores and takes a foul in the process. Kenny Thomas on the foul.
You watch Seals now right here. Nice little hesitation move again. Just freezes the defense. You see Schornstein coming over there. He's late. And Seals with the concentration. It's right here. He doesn't use the screen, but it's the hesitation move. He's got 3 defenders on him, and that's why the pros have got to love him. He's so strong. He can take contact and still have an opportunity to complete a play.
Is Seals stepping up? Are we in the desert? The answer is yes. He has 9 already. Coley leaves for Tulsa. Adrian Crawford is back in. Steve Robinson knows how important it is to keep players fresh when you play out here. 6 minutes in. Shea Seals having the kind of first half he did against New Mexico last time. Look at the quickness of the Spider. Charles Smith with his first field goal. And we're tied at 11. The steal by Lamont Long. Smith the putback. That's Bennett for Maldonado, and that's the second time today New Mexico has scored in transition, and Tulsa has answered right away.
Maldonado just sprinting down the floor, establishing a position underneath the basket at about 4 feet. Really patient, caught the ball, took a 1-bounce power dribble, and finished.
Smith. Over Shea Seals. Charles has 8. Shea has 9. I don't think those boys mind having their names on the marquee, do they?
It's a shootout out west.
Here's Seals again. Almost traveled. Crawford. And when Tulsa gets scoring from some of its young players, they can really be a good offensive club. That's what Crawford and Coley did when they played in the NIT against Oklahoma State and UCLA.
Crawford, a true freshman, he had his first career start against San Jose State on the deuce. Came out of that game, they thought perhaps he might be a little nervous. He had 11 points, and 8 assists.
Yeah, that was Monday night when the Hurricane took care of that club, and then they went to UTEP and won on Thursday. Shot clock was inside 5, and Zach Bennett, the redshirt freshman, has the Tulsa rebound. We're tied at 15. That's Maldonado from Seals. He wants to turn and face. Won't go down for him. And running with it for New Mexico is David Gibson, their point guard. Lamont Long for Shields. Here's Crawford for Tulsa. Thompson on the drive. Kenny Thomas the rebound. Dave Bliss wants a 20. Well, how about this? The home coach quiets the crowd with a timeout.
Well, Kenny Thomas wanted a foul. You watch Smith, nice move to beat the defense. Those long arms, and he sets up that move because his ability to shoot the outside shot, see the up fake, and he gets Seals ever so gently, but off the floor. Now you watch Kenny Thomas, number 4, underneath the basket, assumes the shot's going to be missed, and he's tied up on the inside with Maldonado. Now he wanted a foul.
Yeah, the official, Stan Reynolds, was standing right there looking at it. Reynolds working with Scott Thornley and Steve Wilmer today. One of the good veteran officiating crews in this part of the country. And Stanley said, play on, guys, and a little bit of blood maybe under the eye of Charles Smith. We've had 6 ties and a couple of lead changes already. New Mexico shooting the 3 well. That time it's a no-go for Clayton Shields. And Michael Ruffin averaging 10 boards a game with the rebound for Tulsa.
When Clayton Shields played the 3 position, he was averaging about 7 threes per game. When he plays the 4 position, in order to really stretch the defense, Dave Bliss told us yesterday, he wants him to shoot more from that three-point distance.
The possession arrows going the other way. Johnny Gendron picked up his dribble, and that was all she wrote for the Tulsa possession. 9 minutes and 11 seconds in. The atmosphere is unbelievable.
Delta.
To go out in practice and be the best possible player he can be, and he said that's where the improvement's going to come.
Freshman All-American and WAC Freshman of the Year last year. Sometimes it's hard to remember he's just a second-year player. Here's Shields taking on Ruffin. Here's Coley with a spin move, and Gendron. New Mexico gets back. Johnny Gendron for Michael Ruffin. Shea Seals is getting a breather. That's Ruffin posting up with Zach Bennett on the blocks. And Rod Thompson flashes out to receive that one. Shea Seals is at the scorer's table now with Adrian Crawford.
And New Mexico in really sticky man-to-man defense.
Johnny Gendron with a turnover. Lamont Long at the other end. Tulsa needs a basket right here. Down by 5. Bennett for Gendron. Shot clock at 5. Thompson, air ball. New Mexico the other way. Kenny Thomas. Steve Robinson wants a 20-second timeout.
New Mexico just doing a terrific job of playing defense. You see Long that time anticipating the pass, deflects it. New Mexico immediately in transition. And again, the second, you'll see good defense by New Mexico. Thomas just sprints down the floor. He beats the entire defense of Tulsa and is able to finish.
A 9-0 run by the Lobos in 3:20. Now you know that Shea Seals is coming back into the game. He was at the scorer's table and had to sit there and watch the last 4 points of that 9-0 run.
Well, New Mexico really cranked up their defense. And again, they applied nice pressure on the ball, not really giving any of the Tulsa perimeter players easy passes. And anytime you get deep into that shot clock, that sense of urgency starts to set in. And New Mexico just cranked their defense up another notch and was able to create a turnover and also a poorly taken shot.
Shot clock down to 10. Seals on the drive, leaning in, and he draws the foul. That's a situation where a great player creates something where there was absolutely nothing.
Well, it might be a part of the strategy of Tulsa to milk the clock and maybe take some of the legs away from the New Mexico defense. But as you get later in the possession, Seals is certainly the type of player that if you're looking to get a shot and your offense is really not creating an open shot, he can't create one for himself off the dribble.
Shea Seals into double figures. Kenny Thomas back for New Mexico. He has 7 points so far. field. Maldonado is back, Tulsa starter. Averages 19 minutes a game, replacing Zach Bennett. Shea Seals trying to get Tulsa back to within 5 here. Clock running with 8:35 first half, and the Lobos using some great transition off defense, leading by 5. This is Lamont Long with Seals on it.
And the crowd wanting Seals called for a reaching foul that time. Seals just in a nice position stance, hands active, exactly what you want to see him do defensively on the ball.
Shot clock under 10. Spider Smith short with the finish after Strong on the drive, and Ruffin will outlet for Adrian Crawford. Tulsa has 3-on-3 here, and the freshman will lay it on top for Maldonado. Seals posting up in the lane. Crawford, the left-hander. Kenny Thomas might have been the last to touch it, and Tulsa will keep it. A fresh 35 for the Hurricane, and a timeout with 7:53 remaining. Tulsa with possession. New Mexico still with the momentum, and the Lobos lead the Hurricane by 5. Lobo points, but both teams are shooting reasonably well and hanging just about even on the boards. Tulsa will throw it in. As we come back live, it'll be Crawford, Seals, Ruffin, Maldonado, and Coley. Out on defense, David Gibson for the Lobos. Shea Seals working off a Maldonado pick. Kenny Thomas in front of him, and Ruffin grabs the board. He is so strong, but he stepped on the baseline.
And Ruffin, with a nice job of anticipating the long rebound, he really seals off the defender, gets to the ball first, but just doesn't have good court awareness, and that left foot ever so slightly steps on the line.
That was Shea Seals' first miss, by the way, Larry. Here's Lamont Long. Maldonado stuffs him with the help. New Mexico gets it right back. Smith for Shields. Clayton Shields with his second three. He's the number 2 3-point sniper in the WAC at 45%.
Tulsa that time changing the defense, going with the zone.
Lobos have their biggest lead by 8. And it's going back the other way as they get it right back.
Both Tulsa and New Mexico are excellent defensive teams. Their opponents shoot 39% from the floor.
Zach Bennett at the scorer's table, set to check back in for Steve Robinson. Well, New Mexico really shooting the ball well right now. Kenny Thomas, the kick. Shields, all kinds of time, maybe too much. Here comes Seals around Gibson, and he draws the foul well before the shot. But in the NBA, that'll be a 3-point play for him next year.
And Gibson was really kind of caught out on an island by himself. He was backing up as Shields was attacking him with a full head of steam.
Well, this is sort of a big Sunday in the WAC, and we've got Big Monday coming your way tomorrow night on ESPN. First, we go to the Big East for UConn and Syracuse. There's the flush by Ruffin off the inbound by Adrian Crawford.
And a missed defensive assignment that time on a nice screen, the out-of-bounds play by Tulsa.
Tulsa, very good half-court trapping team. Clay Solney a little bit short with it. Keeping it alive is Greg Schornstein. The drive by Gibson. Zach Bennett blocked him, but he fouled him.
But you watch the inbound play right here. You're going to see Seals set just a nice little screen, and there's no reaction by the New Mexico defense to call the screen set by Seals or to switch it. Consequently, you leave a terrific offensive player about 3 feet from the basket. That's what's going to happen.
Adrian Crawford hands up on the free throw by David Gibson. Gibson only 63%. He's not a scorer. He's the point guard who runs things. They call him a jet with the ball when he's running down on transition.
Yeah, well, he ran a 10-600-meter 100-yard dash when he was in high school, and he's awfully fast with the basketball off the dribble.
Sandia High School right here in Albuquerque. The Lobos have a bunch of local kids. Kenny Thomas is local. Shea Seals is a local Tulsa boy, but he misses on the three. And because of Michael Ruffin, Gibson knocks the ball out of bounds. If Michael Ruffin gives up on that ball, New Mexico would have had the easy save. And Dave Bliss wants to know if his man was pushed out of bounds.
Well, just a smart play by Ruffin.
Larry, this is why you never give up on a ball.
And you never know how the officials are going to call it. So you see Ruffin, he makes an attempt to really sort of sucker Gibson into going after the ball, and Gibson commits on trying to steal the ball.
That's why they have that ramp over there for plays just like that.
Full head of steam, just run right up that ramp, slow you down.
Jamie Gillen checks in for Tulsa. He throws it in. Bennett from Maldonado. Thompson, tough catch down low, and getting there late was David Gibson, who fouled him. Now this is the Mountain Division. Over in the Pacific, Hawaii was a winner last night. They go 10-2, but Fresno with that loss we talked about, and Colorado State losing to Hawaii. So UNLV gets together with Fresno, and that becomes a game in the Pacific tomorrow night, almost identical to this one in the Mountain, where the second and third place teams are battling.
Boy, and the Hawaii team, they've been a surprise. I know a lot of folks back east don't get to see Hawaii play, but they're awfully good.
Shea Seals has now missed 3 shots in a row. Royce Olney well long with it. Zach Bennett. And Tulsa has numbers 4-on-2. Thompson to Seals. Now Rod will look for the penetration and the kick for Gillen.
And that was a good decision by Seals and also the Tulsa team. They didn't have anything in transition, nothing in early offense. Pull the ball back out, and then they're working with about 12 seconds on the shot clock to get a good look.
Thompson double team, so Maldonado's the man open. Shea Seals posting up against 3 Lobos. Thompson for 3. Can't quite get the shooter's bounce, and the rebound, Lamont Long. Lobos by 7. We're down to the 5-minute mark of the first half.
Thompson missed a wide open shot, and that was by virtue of 3 players from New Mexico all running the triple team shield in that low post.
Well, Rafael Maldonado, just a little bit of a slap to the back of Kenny Thomas, who had beaten him. Obviously a foul on Tulsa. That will be their 5th team foul. New Mexico has 5, and because of the outstanding defense today, the shooting now cooling off a bit.
Tulsa shoots 43% on the year.
New Mexico, number 1 in the WAC in threes at 40. Overall, they shoot 49%. But this is nothing unusual for the Lobos. Their opponents only shoot 40. Oh, Kenny Thomas again.
His 8th 3 made on the season.
And his 2nd today. Adrian Crawford, the freshman out of Akron, Ohio. His dad is one of Steve Robinson's assistants, Coleman Crawford, the ex-Akron head coach. And what a big play by the coach's kid right there. Here's Smith on the drive. Almost traveled. Tulsa saves it.
And that's the first time that Kenny Thomas has hit 2 3-point shots in a game.
Crawford had the right idea, but his alley-oop wasn't high enough. Royce Olney, he's the one guy who's been unable to hit outside. And he's considered New Mexico's best pure shooter.
Well, last year Olney shot 48% from the floor, and this year shooting just 36.
Tulsa now down by 7. 3.5 minutes to go first half. Shea Seals getting a breather. Bennett out high. Eric Coley, the freshman, double teamed. Bennett. He didn't take it to the hole at first, and then he traveled when he decided to. Our final officials timeout, 3:14 first half. Kenny Thomas, a couple of threes. NBA scouts, are you watching?
Kenny Thomas with 10 points so far, doing a very nice job playing the center position and stepping out on the perimeter, getting more touches on the basketball. He's an excellent passer out there, but as he's shown, he's also capable of shooting that 3-point shot.
Shea Seals on Royce Olney. Gibson, that'll be a backcourt violation. New Mexico's had a couple of those little unforced mental errors. Charles Smith fumbled one out of bounds earlier. This time, the reliable Gibson into the backcourt. Olney will take a seat. 7 more attempts by the Lobos from long range and 3 more makes. That's the difference in the game right now.
And you talk about those little lapses, and they both come right out of timeouts when Tulsa has changed their defense, and it's caught New Mexico a little bit off guard, and it's taken them a few passes before they've adjusted to the change in the defense.
Tulsa running its motion offense now. Shea Seals looking for somebody to fail to switch on that high pick so he can shoot. Now the shot clock is down to 8. Seals on the drive. Zach Bennett from 17. And the rebound, Charles Smith. The Spider with that great wingspan, he averages 5 rebounds a game. Here's Lamont Long right at Zach Bennett, and that's going to be a blocking foul, and Steve Robinson can't believe it. It seemed like Bennett was waiting for an eternity, but he must have moved late because Steve Welmer whistled him up.
And that's what Bennett is saying exactly. See underneath the basket, Zach Bennett is standing there, and he's waiting.
Yeah. That's got to be a charge right there. New Mexico gets a big break, and Lamont Long shoots 2.
You want to do if you're Steve Robinson. You want to complain about that call and really let the officials know that, hey, you might have missed one on that one, and that puts that bug in his ear to really watch that next one, and if it's close, I want that call.
Yeah, I think you'll see a make good somewhere for that one along the line. Lamont Long with his 3rd point of the day. Lobos by 8. 2:05 to go first half.
Clayton Shields really playing off Bennett. When Bennett's at the top of the key, Shields is all the way back in the 3-second area.
That ball was deflected by Charles Smith. Folks, I think you can see why they call him the Spider now. He's only 6'4", but his wingspan is 1 inch short of 7 feet.
He took his arms off him and put him on a guy 7 foot tall. They fit exactly.
Exactly. Shea Seals, and there's a foul by Smith. Charles Smith is like a Super 80 with 747 wings on it. That time he reached a little bit too far, and he got his first foul. And with 1:43 to go, that's only the 16th foul. Neither team has gone into the penalty situation yet. So it's been a tough but an infrequent foul type of first half. Olney comes back in, and David Gibson leaves. Shea and Kenny doing the job. We should mention Charles Smith. He has 8 as well for the Lobos.
New Mexico really guilty of letting Tulsa off the hook. The shot clock on that last possession was down to 5 when that foul was committed.
This is Eric Coley driving on Olney, who took it away. Transition for Charles Smith. Oh, it was either Maldonado or Coley. I'll just give it to the taller guy. 2 Tulsa players in position to block it, and Rafael Maldonado was probably the one who got it.
Well, you see, Smith really doesn't get his legs underneath him to explode up, and it looked like Rafael might have got his money's worth on that one.
We are seeing some high flying in the desert today. This is Shields, or Smith, way out there. Thus he's short with the 3, rough in the rebound, and with 1:10 remaining, Tulsa crosses center court, down by 8. The Hurricane without a field goal in a while.
Well, you can see from those last 2 shot attempts, Smith might be tired.
Maldonado bumped Thomas and then missed the shot. And that's what you got to do. You got to go right at the big guys. And now New Mexico with a chance to get the lead back to double digits. Shields on the drive. Nowhere to go. And that's Lamont Long. And it's also foul. It appears to be Rafael Maldonado. You know, Ruffin was just caught coming down, and that's how Long got this rebound.
Well, Long, the last 5 games, has led the team in rebounding, and you see why. He just anticipates and assumes the shot's missed. Now, there's really not a whole lot of he can do with the basketball underneath. He almost disappears amongst all those tall trees, but he's very fortunate on the pump fake to draw some contact and get the foul.
Lamont to shoot. He's a Tempe kid, co-player of the year as a high school two-time All-Stater. And by the way, he was Arizona co-player of the year with a young man by the name of Mike Bibby, who's doing a great job for Lute Olson right now.
I played with Mike's father, Henry Bibby, for 2 years at UCLA when he was an All-American.
I got to ask you, how can a guy coach USC after playing at UCLA?
It's all about the paycheck.
You know, we got Roy Hamilton in the truck and Larry here. I just had to ask that question. Right now, there's about a 3-second differential between the clocks. Tulsa down by 9.
New Mexico, you want a real good defense here. You don't want to foul, particularly in the act of shooting.
Tulsa without a field goal for 4 minutes. Crawford got the 3, and his 3, I think, was the last one 4 minutes ago. Here's the drive by Long. Yes, at the buzzer!
You see the nice pitch ahead, and Long just beating the defense. It appeared that Tulsa had no designs on trying to stop him or at least foul. Enables Long to use all of his quickness, drive in, and get that final 2 points.
Long at the buzzer. It's New Mexico by 8, and Adrian Crawford had hit the 3 for Tulsa. Hurricane will have it with Shea Seals throwing it in.
New Mexico was 17-0 this year when leading at halftime.
Thompson on the drive. Looking for Shea Seals. The entry. And Seals takes a hit. That was from behind, and it's by Charles Smith.
That foul really not necessary by Smith. Although Seals had created the dribble penetration for himself. The help side defense of New Mexico really doing a nice job, and the defense had cut off the driving lane.
You know, Seals came out of McLean High School in Tulsa, Oklahoma Player of the Year in '93. And Steve knew of him at that time because Steve was at Kansas with Roy Williams. Said, you know, coming out of high school, Seals did not look like an automatic to be a top-notch college player. He has worked hard to get where he was, and he'll be number 2 on the all-time scoring list by the time he's done.
You're absolutely right. Robinson said Seals is the first player to practice. He's the last one to leave. He's really developed a nice work ethic. His ability has risen, and it hasn't been by accident.
Wade Shields for New Mexico. Shot clock inside 10. Into the hands of Spider Smith. Then Lamont Long, hanging, air ball, rebound, Michael Ruffin for Tulsa. Hurricane down by 7. Now they're down by 4 as Shea Seals hits the 3. He has 15, and the Hurricane gets just what they were hoping for out of halftime.
Back-to-back three-pointers, and Seals that time opting to run down the sideline as opposed to cutting to the basket on that fast break.
Smith, the soft touch won't go for him. He gets it back, runs into Maldonado. It won't go again. And the Lobos miss numerous opportunities, and it's going back the other way. You know, a lot of hard work over 20 minutes, Larry, can go out the window in a hurry in the first couple minutes of the second half. And there's an indication of how important this game is. The winner will have 20, but the winner will also have sole possession of second place. At least Tulsa would if they win. New Mexico would forge a second-place tie. Gendron for Ruffin.
Well, they'll crown 2 division champions in the WAC, and those 2 WAC champions will draw a first-round bye in the conference tournament.
Tulsa 6-0 out of the locker room, and it's now just a 2-point game. And they're still standing because their team hasn't scored yet. Maldonado down low with his third foul.
You watch the feed to the inside. Rupp is faking as if he's going to go to the inside over the left shoulder. Turns and actually draws some contact as he falls away from Kenny Thomas. Just a nice soft touch by a big, strong man.
Smith, shot fake on Seals. Short with it. Lobos go cold and Ruffin outlets. Here comes Rod Thompson. He wants to go all the way. Rebound, Kenny Thomas of New Mexico. That could have tied the game.
Tulsa really coming out at halftime, fired up. I don't know what Coach Robinson told them, but they're very focused. New Mexico, although hustling on the offensive board, just missing numerous opportunities to tuck that second and third shot opportunity away and then get back on defense and claw their way back into this thing emotionally.
Smith running into Gendron, no call. Johnny Gendron kicking the ball. They still play on. Tulsa basketball. It looked like Johnny Gendron laying on the floor took a little bit of a whack at it with the foot.
So you see the drive in there by Smith. Gendron goes down, and you don't want to be down there with all those size 15s and 16s. You can't sit right there when he gets stepped on once, twice.
You know, when ESPN covered the World Cup, we called that a bicycle kick.
I was looking for a flag on the play.
Lobos, a big drought. Tulsa now. A 6-0 run. Seals trying to tie the game. He is unconscious today. 17 for Shea Seals. And it's been a long time since we've been tied in this thing. I think one of the factors is Tulsa's gotten real aggressive on the defensive end. They're known as a good trapping, denying team. That was Gibson on the drive, and he was fouled.
The Seals has Royce Olney on him. You watch him catch right here and face up. Now Olney is delayed getting to him because of a screen, but Seals in a groove just takes the one bounce dribble to rhythm up square to the basket, and it's court and floor.
I like that. He can feel it, huh? Rhythm up. He's feeling it. He'll get a breather. Olney will throw it in. The entry for Thomas. Zach Bennett on his back. Tough shot. The follow won't go. Thomas fouled, and it goes in. They had to score sometime.
Well, you're absolutely right, Bob, and they had New Mexico so many opportunities at point-blank range. An off-balance shot right there, but the ball has been kept alive. A lot of the misses that New Mexico has had to start this second half have been by virtue of the tip in, Kenny Thomas tucking the ball away and then using that strength and quickness to get the ball back up and in.
He's got his average, 13. Kenny will be over 800 pretty soon. He's only a second-year player. Well over 400 rebounds in his 2 years. And the Lobos with that three-point play back up by 3. Jamie Gillen on top. Ruffin on the wing. That's Zach Bennett for Adrian Crawford. How about some of the shots Crawford's hit in this game? He's going to hang off the window, too short with it. He'll go right up again, and this freshman is not at all shy. Double figures for Adrian. Nearly triple his average.
And very wise. Last summer he was selected to the 5-star All-Star camp back east, and that's a very prestigious honor, but very heady. He knew where that shot was going to go because he shot it, he missed it, ran it down and got the second opportunity.
Olney. He is not hit yet, and now he's 0 for 5. Rebound, Lamont Long. Gibson penetrates, and that is a charge. Steve Welmer on the call, and Tulsa gets it back. 4 minutes and 43 seconds to go. New Mexico had momentum and an 8-point halftime lead. Tulsa with Seals and Crawford come roaring back, down by just 1.
Is
is still having.
He's the first player in Tulsa history to score over 400 points every season that he's played.
I think he likes being on ESPN and the Deuce. All 3 games televised this week, and he has stepped it up with the cameras and the lights on it. Hurricane with a chance for the lead here. Seals for 3. It rimmed out. Coley with the putback. Eric Coley's first basket, and Tulsa's bench now has outscored New Mexico's 12-0. 10 of those from Adrian Crawford.
Well, Coley's an excellent rebounder. He's averaging 3 a game, but he's one of those rare players. He has almost as many offensive rebounds as defensive rebounds.
Shea Seals got out on the wing a little bit late, and Charles Smith flew right by him. And the Lobos back up by 1. Seals from the corner. Instead to Crawford. Zach Bennett hard to the hole, and he's fouled by Clayton Shields.
That's a smart play by Zach Bennett.
Conference USA, you saw that Tulane score. They're struggling after UAB got them with the buzzer beater Thursday night. Tulsa played this Temple team that's at Rhode Island today. At the line, Zach Bennett, redshirt freshman out of Union High School in Tulsa. Playing about 20 minutes a game. They've got a lot of depth with their big men, except one of them is hurt right now. J.R. Cunningham is here, but not dressed. He's on the bench with a sprained ankle. Played only 4 minutes at UTEP on Thursday.
Cunningham at 6'9", 230. He's only averaging 2 points a ball game, so he doesn't hurt you from that standpoint, but he was another body in the rotation.
Exactly.
Very aggressive, very physical.
Shields just dribbles to where he wants to shoot from. Rebound was too tall for Ruffin, but Coley helped him out. Tulsa getting great play from some of their role players right now. Seals and Zach Bennett couldn't reach it. Shea had no place to shoot it.
The prior possession, Seals got caught up in the air, jumping to shoot, and then elected to pass. And that time when he dribbled, penetrated, really no open space in there. He might have been better off just coming in one dribble and taking that nice little bank shot or kicking it back out and resetting the offense.
Long nearly turning it over. Shea Seals, no, it's going to be Coley on the reach. And Tulsa saw a chance there with a loose ball to get a fast break going back the other way, but the foul by Coley, his second, will stop it. Hurricane with Rod Thompson back in. Adrian Crawford a breather. He got another basket here, and the youngster will sit down with 10. Look at New Mexico shooting all of a sudden.
Those 14 attempts, I would guess 8 of those are of the putback or tip-in variety, and they missed a slew of those at the beginning of the second half. That, of course, hurts your field goal percentage, but coaches love it because it's a sign of hustle. You just got to get those things to go in.
New Mexico could use a shot from Royce Olney to go in, too. You just spread the scoring around a little bit. Smith, we know he'll get his, but he misses again, and Michael Ruffin is the chairman of the boards right now. Thompson for Coley, now Ruffin for Seals. Alley-oop backdoor. Kenny Thomas got in front of Ruffin, and Steve Welmer needs some help from the other officials, and they say that it was Ruffin who touched it last.
And that's a good job by a lead official who's on the baseline, obviously watching all the contact that's happening down low, not really aware of what was happening up top with the basketball.
Steve's really giving it to that other Steve Welmer. Welmer is an official who absolutely would work a college basketball game every day of the week if they'd let him. His buddies Stanley Reynolds and Scott Thornley were kidding him when they found out they moved this game up a half hour, that he was looking for a game to work tonight somewhere. I tell you, these guys love the game as much as the players and the coaches do.
Stan Reynolds was a great high school player in Denver, Colorado. Was All-State in his senior year. His high school team, Manual High School, won the state championship.
Olney still can't hit. The putback by Long, and he was fouled. I'll tell you one thing about Lamont Long. Tulsa did not expect him to rebound the way he has today. Well, tomorrow, big Monday coming your way. UConn and Syracuse in the Big East at 7:30. Then #1 Kansas. Can you believe what they did to Colorado yesterday? And they want to do it to Missouri as well for a little revenge. And after SportsCenter, Jerry Tarkanian, Billy Payno, the Bulldogs, the Running Rebels. It'll be wild in Vegas tomorrow night at midnight.
With Kansas beating Colorado by 40 points. I tell you, UNLV, they've got Keon Clark, he comes off the bench, about 6'11", got 27 points in their last ball game.
Yeah, you and I are still talking about a play we saw him make at TCU last month. By the way, that 6 rebounds for Lamont Long that got him that putback. Now he gets a steal. 1-on-3. He's not going to wait, and Ruffin's going to reject it. That was not a good choice by Lamont, but New Mexico will get the ball back. Even when you're hot, you got to pull it back sometimes.
Well, an excellent move by a freshman, but he did make a freshman decision. Just anticipates that pass out really nicely, gets a nice jump on it, and right here, doesn't have any advantage, doesn't create any separation, and dribbles right into a shot block.
But they got it back. I think it looks like he might have a Charlie horse. Here's Kenny Thomas. Finally misses a 3. Schoenstein the rebound. Smith rejected by Maldonado. Taken away by Coley. Tulsa now 2-on-2. Thompson spins. Taken away from him. And we've got a foul on Maldonado. That will be his 4th.
Pretty good defense on both sides of the ball. You see Kenny Thomas really focus on the defense between him and the basket. Eric Coley sneaks in with a nice steal. Now you see Thompson in the open court, and only just reaches in ever so gently and knocks the ball away. Both defenses very active, very aggressive.
And again, the officials are letting them play today. Maldonado's 4th. It comes with 12:19 remaining.
Maldonado's fouled out of 1 ball game this year. He leads Tulsa in fouls.
Charles Smith for 3. Lobos by 5. Steve Robinson's going to slow it down here a little. Crawford. Air ball, a foul by Schoenstein underneath. He was holding Maldonado. Excuse me, Michael Ruffin he was holding.
Hey, you see Robinson right there talking about shot selection to Crawford.
11:37 to go. New Mexico by 5. The Spider puts one right in the web from 3-point range. Larry Finch with his swan song at the helm of the Tigers. Shea Seals has 17. Charles Smith has 13. Now New Mexico makes the run. Got to get it in. Rod Thompson did just in time. It was caught by John Cornwell, who checks in for the first time today. He's one of the other big Tulsa players, a redshirt freshman who goes 6'9", 210.
Thompson just keeping his poise, not panicking, and making a nice pass to beat the 5-second count.
Seals, good pass for Crawford. Seals is right there to tip it in. Adrian will tell you it was an alley-oop. And it's a 3-point game.
It was a pass, not a shot.
That's all right. This is a good ball game. A couple of very solid teams in the WAC. They have postseason NCAA designs. And we've got a foul on Kenny Thomas on the offensive rebound. That'll be his 2nd.
You see Seals right there with the skip pass. The defense turns to see exactly where the ball is gone, and Seals just moves without the ball very quickly along the baseline.
Clayton Shields is back for New Mexico.
That's a mark of a really good offensive player. Not only passing the ball, but moving without it, anticipating when other players on your team are going to get shots, and then moving in, padding your step by being able to offensive rebound the basketball.
Thompson on the drive. The kick for Ruffin. Jay Seals is on the near side. The shot clock is at 10. Ruffin will pull up. Didn't have much arc on it. Cornwell kept it alive. Is that another one on Kenny Thomas? That will be his second quickie and his third of the game. We're at the pit in Albuquerque, New Mexico, the Western Athletic Conference. Bob Carpenter with Larry Farmer. It's been a beauty so far, and the Lobos lead the Tulsa Hurricane 43-40. Tulsa 9-2 in conference play, and the Lobos of New Mexico are 8-3.
Kenny Thomas with his third personal foul, and that's one area of his game he's really improved in as a sophomore.
Seals took a bit of a bump. They say play on. He's underneath again. This is Zach Bennett, and he misses that one. Tulsa should have had two right there. Here's Gibson for Smith. Shields the entry. Thomas! He was fouled on the way up. Jay Seals with help defense wanted to prevent the slam, and that kept the crowd from exploding.
When Thomas sits down in the post and spreads out, you see him right there calling for the basketball. He's so quick, doesn't get that left arm out and push off. He's very much aware of the fact that he's got 3 fouls, but size, quickness, and grace is what enabled him to make that quick drop step.
Rod Thompson leads for Tulsa. Eric Coley is back. Kenny Thomas is a 75% shooter. Went to high school in El Paso for 3 years before playing his senior year up at Albuquerque High School right here.
We talked about him improving as a sophomore. He had 118 fouls last year, which was the most personal fouls ever assessed to a player at New Mexico. He averaged 3.5 fouls over the season. He's down to about 3 this year. So he's not making the dumb foul, and he's been able to play through longer periods during the ball game.
He and Charles Smith are roommates. For the first time today, we see the former Bryant Reeves back up. Big number 54, Ben Baum, played 2 years for Eddie Sutton. He scored 30 points in 2 years and decided to transfer. Here's Crawford. Well off with the 3. Tipped out by Smith, and Adrian's back out there to get it. He finds Seals, and nobody else did. And Shea misses the open look.
And that's a missed assignment by New Mexico. Very fortunate. The Seals did not knock down that open shot. If you change your defenses, players have to be aware. They have to identify and locate.
Shields with the 3. Hits the very top of the glass. Stays in bounds. Coley trying to tie up Ben Baum.
And Baum thought that there was a whistle, at least he anticipated, so he was more happy just holding on to the ball and walking with it than anything else, but there was no whistle.
New Mexico does have the possession arrow. Here's Shields for 3. Well short. And again, these long rebounds, and Tulsa can't reach him. Zach Bennett reaches that one. Eric Coley is hurt. He took a shot, maybe an elbow on the back of the head, and they'll take a quick whistle here. And Steve Robinson again talking to Steve Wilmer on the other side.
You watch Eric Coley, number 11 right here. He's running down the basketball, and he's holding the back of his head, so that must have occurred slightly before our replay started, but still out on the court is Eric Coley.
5-point game, lots of time remaining. Zach Bennett for Rod Thompson. He'll drive around a pick by Ruffin. Coley thought about the 3. He'll hang and bank it in for 2. Eric Coley with both of his baskets since halftime. And it's 45-42 New Mexico.
Coley making that shot by virtue of great hang time and extension.
Now he fouls Charles Smith. Eric with his 3rd. He's a tough guy to get off you because he likes to break horses in his spare time. He is from J.C. Watt's hometown of Eufaula, Oklahoma. Watts, the former Oklahoma quarterback and now U.S. Congressman.
Over a 3-year high school career, Coley shot 63% from the floor and averaged 20 points a game. It's absolutely amazing.
Maldonado checks back in, and Michael Ruffin is out. Well, these teams have been hitting the offensive glass today. You know, 12's not that bad of a number, but New Mexico has 8 more. Charles Smith now with 14. Smith with 15. His average is 19. Royce Alney is back for the Lobos as Smith gets a breather. That's Adrian Crawford back for the Hurricane. Shea Seals will take a bit of a break.
You mentioned this earlier. New Mexico could really use a break from Royce Alney. He's a very good three-point shooter. He's been a little bit erratic. Coach Bliss has a great deal of confidence in him. He's able to come off the bench and get 17 against New Mexico State, so he is capable.
He's had 17 off the bench twice this year. Here's Maldonado backing in. On top for Crawford. Maldonado picks off Long. He didn't roll, but he waits for the pass. Shot clock is at 5. Crawford for 3. Barely got iron, and Long traveled. Officials timeout. 7:48 remaining. Lobos lead it by 5. A couple of teams really working hard on the boards. And there's the shuffle of the feet and the turnover.
At Buck.
The tortillas without the salsa.
Listen to him. I tell you, Lamont Long has had himself some afternoon. He's been in the middle of everything.
Well, you see the 8 points and the 9 rebounds, very close to a double-double. Dave Bliss actually talked to Lamont Long at the beginning of the season about perhaps redshirting.
Oh. Zach Bennett had no passing lane whatsoever. Seven and a half to go. Kenny Thomas comes out high with Bennett on him. Lobos by 5. All knee for Long. Charles Smith is going to be fresh when he gets back in. He's getting a breather right now. All knee to Thomas. Oh, rejected by Coley. That's a 6'5" freshman rejecting Kenny Thomas belly to belly.
You talk about riding and breaking horses and roping calves. He certainly got all of that noose around Kenny Thomas on that shot.
My gosh. Here's Seals. And he's stripped of it and takes a foul. It looks like Royce Alney on the foul.
The ball will come inside, and you see Kenny Thomas just beat the defender on him. Eric Coley just climbs to the rafters, challenges at the basket. Coley only weighing 205 pounds, so he's giving up about 50 on that play. Nice shot block.
Kenny Thomas right now wondering, where did that freshman come from? And Shea Seals is looking for his 20th point. He has scored 79 this week.
Nice day at the office.
I'd give him a day off.
As long as there's no game on that
But
day.
he's got a lot of work to do yet today. It's a 3-point game. Lobos over the Hurricane, 47-44. The WAC putting on quite a show today. This is Smith on the near side. He came back in at the whistle, and he takes an elbow.
Well, Ruffin got caught with Smith out there on the wing, and Ruffin at 6'8", 235. It's really no matchup. Charles Smith with a great first step.
Michael Ruffin and the Hurricane hammered New Mexico 80-57 1 month ago today. The Lobos were ranked number 12 at the time. Seals had 23 points in that game, but Thomas did not play. And when have you seen Charles Smith miss a free throw by that much? That barely got iron. Tulsa could tie it or go down by 1.
New Mexico playing man-to-man, and the reason that the big players from Tulsa, both Ruffin and Bennett, aren't being guarded. The defenders are just playing back in the lane to guard against the pass and dribble penetration.
A fresh 35 on the shot clock on the kick by Lamont Long. Couple of teams who dominate their opponents at home, but struggle a bit on the road. Tulsa hanging with New Mexico right now. On top, it's Eric Coley. Charles Smith with those long arms pawing away at him. Coley pulls up, way short. Rebound for Clayton Shields. There's Long, and that describes the jumper. Here's Seals. Looking at Shields. Takes him to the baseline. Spins away from the help defense, which was Gibson. And Shea Seals has 23. He just disappeared.
Seals got that ball. It was 1 against 3.
Dave Bliss wants a 20-second timeout.
You see the long pass right there. There are 3 defenders back from New Mexico. Seals is going to beat 1, 2, and then right at the end, the third player doesn't even make an effort to go after Seals. Just a great open court move and quickness.
You know, so many guys make that spin move on ESPN. And then, of course, Big Monday tomorrow night. Johnny Gendron's in for Tulsa. Smith for Shields. And he's got the 3. Clayton Shields with his first basket of the second half. That breaks a 3-minute New Mexico scoring drought.
Well, Tulsa in a 1-3-1 half-court trap, leaving Shields open in the corner. Clayton Shields, the second best three-point shooter in the WAC conference, 45%.
Zach Bennett lost it. Now Shields will pull it up and go on top to Gibson. He'll drive on Maldonado and think better of it. Excuse me, it's Ruffin on the right side for Tulsa. And then Gibson says, let's get back into our half-court offense.
Tulsa immediately going back to their man-to-man. They tried to hit New Mexico with a quick half-court trap, and it left Smith wide open. Shields wide open in the corner.
Thomas backing in Bennett. There's the little jump hook, and Ruffin rebounds.
That's certainly a makeable shot for Kenny Thomas. He might have gotten himself buried a little bit too deep on the baseline, but by turning to the middle, created a nice look, makeable basket.
Seals down low. Johnny Gendron right wing. That's Ruffin on top for Bennett. Shea Seals flashing top of your screen. He's going for 3. He missed it behind a Zach Bennett pick. And the Lobos have it. 4 minutes to go. They lead by 4.
That's a big-time rebound by Charles Smith. That ball barely off the rim out of the cylinder. The Spider-Man up to take that rebound away.
Looks like an injured New Mexico player. The left knee, it appears, of Lamont Long. We're 1 second away from when they could just go ahead and take an official's timeout. But for now, Long will have to sit on the bench.
Well, he's rubbing the muscle just above the knee, so that's a good sign. And he's got that smile on his face, so certainly nothing serious there.
Royce Alney back into the game for New Mexico. He has not scored anything off the bench today. Shot clock is at 15. There's Alney from Gibson. Shea Seals is on it. The drive by Smith. He gets in very deep. He was fouled by Eric Coley on the way. And that's 4 on Coley.
His 4th personal. When you guard Charles Smith on the perimeter, you've got to get your knees bent and give a nice little cushion. He's a very capable three-point shooter, but what he really likes to do off that ability to shoot the 3 is beat you off the dribble.
Charles Smith knows the range on the free throw this time. He has 16. Lobos by 5 now. He averages 19. He's also unselfish. He's had around 70 assists this year. Coley the rebound. 2-possession game with 3:40 to go. Rod Thompson looking backdoor for Coley. The jumper. Ruffin knew there was nobody behind him. He kept it alive for Thompson, and Rod couldn't get there. 3:24 remaining. The Lobos will have the ball back when we come back. They lead 51-46. And it continues to be a big battle on the boards today. Each coach with his 2 full timeouts remaining. Steve Robinson has 2 of his 20s left, but Tulsa is in the double penalty.
Tulsa man-to-man. The key here is not give up easy looks or penetration off the dribble.
Olney still unable to score today. When New Mexico is really doing an unbelievable job on the offensive boards. Their season high on the year is 23. They've had at least 21, maybe 22 now.
And Kenny Thomas in traffic, and that's where he likes to play, just not able to finish.
Bennett leaves it for Ruffin and a foul. A good choice by Zach Bennett to hit the trailer, Michael Ruffin.
You watch the nice interior passing right there. Michael Ruffin comes from his high post position, anticipating that there perhaps could be a shot.
Lamont Long, who's been one of those guys who's made a lot happen today. They've taped him up. He had a cramp in his left thigh a moment ago. David Binder, the New Mexico trainer, massaged him and got him back in here. It's a 2-point game with 2:40 remaining.
And New Mexico very fortunate at that time, awfully close to an over and back at half court, attacking that press with the long pass.
Smith with the entry for Thomas. He loves the jump hook, but he's missed it on at least 3 occasions today. Now Tulsa could tie it or take the lead.
Well, those are just great opportunities for Kenny Thomas. He's down low in the post where he's a superb score. He's one-on-one. Nobody's covering down to take away that easy look, and he's just not converting those easy baskets.
Foley from Thompson. Shea Seals trying to tie the game. He's fouled. How many fouls has he drawn on other people today?
Well, Seals has got that nice hesitation move. First of all, he knows how to isolate himself, get his head and shoulder past his defender, and if he can get you up in the air, he's going to jump into you and draw contact. Boy, he's just got that sneaky first step, and when you catch up to that first step, he hesitates, locks you into that one, and then that quick burst of speed beats you again.
Dave Bliss is going to use a full timeout here with 1:59. When we come back, Shea Seals could tie the game. Tulsa with a chance to tie it as Shea Seals goes to the line. If the Lobos lose this game, Larry, they will look at their shooting statistics, and it will not make them happy.
They certainly won't. They're shooting 27%. The last time the Lobos shot under 30% was against Colorado State, February the 2nd.
Shea Seals misses a free throw for the first time today. Well, make it the second. He's missed little else. And both of them come out. New Mexico by 2 with possession. And the crowd comes to its feet. In the second half, the Lobos are shooting 16%. That ball's going the other way because of the defense of Michael Ruffin.
New Mexico desperately needing to run some clock, if nothing else. Turnover very costly. That's the last thing you want to do, but
Ruffin looking for Seals. Shea open underneath, and that ball gets through without touching anybody. There were 2 Lobos who had a chance for deflections, and nobody got it, and New Mexico gets it back with 1:13 remaining. Eric Coley checks out, and Adrian Crawford is back in.
well, you saw the pass right there, and nobody got a hand on it.
Coaches hate to see you forcing a pass when you still have about 15 on the shot clock.
Well, New Mexico, their last possession, really didn't milk the clock enough before they turned it over.
Thomas traveled. He thought about the 3, then he took off. Larry, that's 2 times down the floor in a row. They probably give the ball up without even milking 10 or 12 seconds off the clock.
Absolutely right, and Tulsa really aiding New Mexico their last trip down the floor by turning the ball over themselves.
Tulsa calls a full timeout with 54.2 remaining. How many chances will the Lobos give the Hurricane to get back and win this game? To go, but he missed 2 free throws. But then New Mexico gives the ball up 2 consecutive times down the floor.
And without getting a shot and milking that precious clock all the way down, New Mexico probably could have taken another 15 to 20 seconds off that shot clock combined possessions.
Bennett for Seals. Tulsa thought he got fouled. Zach Bennett fumbles the ball out of bounds. Shea looking at the officials and saying, I was manhandled.
Well, it's really a 2-on-1 up here at the top of the key because Seals is going to get a screen. You see, nobody's guarding Zach Bennett. Now, unless there was contact down low from that angle, it didn't appear that there was much contact on it.
40 seconds remaining. New Mexico with the ball by 2. They've only made 16 field goals today. Thomas backing in Bennett. He's got it this time. Tulsa needs a quick score, and Shea Seals got it, and he is fouled.
You talk about big players stepping up. Thomas just going one-on-one. You see the cover down from up top, but just beats both defenders, powers that ball in ever so softly, and then All-American Shea Seals, he gets the ball on the baseline, drives hard to the basket in order to get it as close to the basket as he possibly can for an easy shot. You see Clayton Shields, he appeared to have gotten there. He appeared to have gotten there on time, but the official on the baseline ruled that he was still moving. Shea Seals in the air at the time of contact, and he will shoot a free throw.
Dave Bliss calling the 22nd timeout. It comes with 19.6 seconds remaining, and the Lobos up by 2.
Oh, right there, that's a very good look. Great job by the guys in the truck. Clayton Shields was right there. He appeared to be waiting. You could almost see his body grimace because he could see the contact coming towards him. I reversed myself. That was not a good call.
So Tulsa gets a break. Shea Seals to the line. If he makes it, it's a 1-point game. 19.6 seconds remaining. New Mexico has it. Tulsa down by 2 points, and in the last minute and a half, Shea Seals has missed 3 free throws.
If there's any kink in his armor, he's a 65% free throw shooter. Coming into this ball game, he'd been to the line for 188 attempts.
New Mexico with a chance to put it away. They can't afford a quick turnover again. Now they've got to call a 20-second timeout, and that's a full timeout because they had no 20s remaining. So New Mexico is out of timeouts. 17.9 to go. It's a 2-point game. Difference in this one. Lobos by 2. They're out of timeouts. They got to throw it in. And they almost threw it away, but Thomas was big enough to catch it. In the backcourt, Ruffin fouls Charles Smith.
Kenny Thomas, a 75% free thrower, and Tulsa electing on that long cross court and very dangerous pass not to immediately foul Thomas.
Over the last 5 games, Charles Smith has been averaging 23 a game, shooting 54 from everywhere and 45 beyond the arc. It comes down to a free throw. And they lead by 3. If he hits this one, Tulsa has an almost impossible situation.
And look for New Mexico to apply a little bit of pressure on a made. So Tulsa has to eat up some clock in bringing the ball up the court, so they can't just get it in and quickly push it up and get a quick look at scoring and then perhaps fouling because of the stoppage of the clock on a made basket.
Two-possession game. That might do it for New Mexico. Tulsa calls a timeout. It's a 20 by Tulsa. They still had a couple remaining. And it comes with 12.5 seconds remaining, and the Lobos now on top by 4. We have Professional Bowlers Association. New Mexico and Tulsa at 9-3, right behind 11-1 Utah. Thompson on the drive, seals for 3, and New Mexico holds on to beat the Hurricane 57-51. There's a second-place tie in the Mountain Division. For Larry Farmer, I'm Bob Carpenter saying so long from the pit in Albuquerque. Once again, the Lobos beat the Hurricane 57-51. Coming up next is PBA Bowling, the Brentwood Classic. This has been a presentation of ESPN.